The Speaker is now in committee as the chair and is allowing, as chairwoman, the unruly opposition leader to continue to speak off mic with the unruly Minister of Constitutional Affairs. Minister, would you kindly consider whether you're electing to close the debate or whether you are going to continue? I do believe, I think I understand it. Minister, this is the original bill. I still think we can take a look just for edification. Principal Act.
So, this is the initial exchange off mic, which I kind of covered in my other video. But the reason why I played this little bit here, snippet here again, is because I wanted to flow from the last video I did into this video, and I wanted to flow smoothly. So where I left off in the other video, I'm picking up in this video, if that makes sense. Okay? So just bear with me. As you can see, Mark Golding is speaking off mic, which is something he shouldn't be doing. He should know better. And Fayval Wiiliams engaged him and sort of allowed it to happen. She shouldn't have done that either. She should have actually instructed the opposition leader to, could you please, turn your mic on and pose your questions in that way so that the entire house and those who are listening can hear. And, likewise, as I say, Juliet Holness was completely distracted, having her own conversation and private joke. So, I don't know. But anyway, continue.
All right, I'll come back to that one. Okay. All right. Member, just an additional, the methods are done according to the levels of competition.
Let me speed this up now. So you see, all these off mic, I've jumped a good minute.
Meanwhile,
and this off mic exchange is still going on.
All right.
And as you can see,
the member also
Juliet
asked
Holness
about repeal of the first
distracted,
schedule.
Having her own conversation with that woman in the red. You see it? She's pointing,
they have open
laughing and chatting and doing their own thing, and completely, unaware of this off mic exchange between Mark Golding and Fayval Wiiliams. This is crazy. So really, she's reprimanding them for something that she was doing as well.
During a procurement.
Right, that's not
during emergency.
By the way,
is added. I'm looking for the list.
Oh my God, that's the parliamentary camera. That's what to do.
A few moments later,
the issue of the debt, the national debt, doing activities with the national debt, that was added.
Let me just skip that.
Those are, Madam Speaker, those are the new proposed exemptions.
Stop grumbling, man, and speak up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The mic is too low.
Minister, would you kindly consider whether you're electing to close the debate or whether you are going to continue?
And you know why this is? After all that's transpired in the previous video I've shown you, it's clear that Fayval Wiiliams is shaking up at this point. She's nervous. She's a bag of nerves at this point, and she's forgetting that she needs to, sort of conclude in the parliamentary fashion, the standard of how you close your argument or close your responses and so on before they move on to the next topic or the next whatever. My Lord, this is crazy. Fayval out of your depth.
So, Madam Speaker, I ask that we conclude the debate on the bill and then ask that it be read a second time.
Oh, my Lord. Can't drive, eh?
The question is that
you hear
the bill be read a second time. Those in favor? Those against, the ayes have it.
Obviously.
A bill entitled.
What's the point in opposing? So there is there's an unnecessary delay. So here's another delaying period. I'm going to scrub through this again because no, I'm not. I wanted to show you how long it takes Fayval to stand up. She's preparing her paperwork and she's ruffling through papers whilst everybody is sort of, preoccupied. Now, also notice during this time that the Speaker of the House has stepped down from her seat. And obviously now she's going to come and sit on the lower seat, if that's the proper term. She's going to sit on the lower seat in the middle between two other persons. Okay? Whilst Fayval Wiiliams is still, I don't know, preparing her speech or whatever it is she's doing. Because at this point, everyone is lost on what she's actually doing. Something all right there, so brother. Something wrong.
I wonder how we are going. Something all right. Something all right there.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is watching paint dry. This is what I mean. And these are the people that's in charge of the country, that's running the affairs of the country. And look at him, clotzing about and just clueless. And there's all these uncomfortably long periods of delay simply because Fayval Wiiliams hasn't got a clue of how to respond to Mark Golding in the questions he wants clarification on. Look how long these delays are. This is crazy. And this is why I'm showing you these empty
The Speaker is now in committee as the chair and is allowing, as chairwoman, the unruly opposition leader to continue to speak off mic with the unruly Minister of Constitutional Affairs. Let's allow Minister to just open based on the discussions we had in the House.
I hope you saw that. I've seen in many videos that these guys are friends. They sit on the opposite side of the aisle, but they don't hate each other. They don't. And I've said that in so many videos.
Kindly guide us as to how you would like to proceed, Minister.
Wow. Madam Chair.
So many styling.
Madam Chair, I just asked for a few minutes to consult with the technical people.
She wants a few minutes. Oh my, this is crazy. This is
Do you need about 5 minutes, Minister? Do you want us to suspend for about 5 minutes? You're good?
Yo,
all right.
Styler still enough. Because she says she needs a few minutes. But that's not enough for Juliet. Juliet is saying, you need a few minutes. You want 5, maybe give a limit, a time limit. Which is, fair enough. You have to put some type of limitation on it. You can't just indefinitely mean a few minutes is vague. A few minutes could be 20 minutes is a few minutes. You know what I mean? So, hey, let it roll. Let it roll. So now Fayval Wiiliams stumbles away across.
Thank you.
Yo, them a laugh off. Look on everybody.
So members of the committee, Minister is asking for 5 minutes. We will come back at 3:20.
You know, see, we them a laugh off and them a styler. Yo, Fayval Wiiliams, if I were you, me resign. This is a public. I don't know if this is some ritual or them a do. But this is a public embarrassing. I don't know. I've never seen this in my life. This is crazy. Fayval Wiiliams, nobody not take you seriously after the way your own party colleagues them style you and deal with you in a parliament. Bro, this is crazy. Just they stumble over to our techie people them, the technical people them who write the bill and draft up. So she gone outside now. Okay? Now comes the next bit. Okay.
You may now conclude.
So now she come back come back in, come cut it up, you know, and I'm sparing her the really bad bit. So she come in now and she take her seat. Well, she about to take her seat or come with a response that she was fumbling with earlier on. So let's go.
Minister, take your seat. Leader of the opposition.
Yeah, that's a quick one.
And
Minister, if you could just identify.
You see the way that went? Minister, take your seat. Leader of the opposition, him go on the mic. Then when him finish, him sit down and then she will stand up and talk. That's how it's supposed to go. So this is what I mean when I said, if you watch the previous video and earlier on in this video, Mark Golding was going off mic, speaking to her and firing questions at her. She was on mic, so she could answer the questions, but he should be on mic to ask the questions. So now them doing it the right way. But Juliet, Holness, you have to get some of the blame too, because you were preoccupied earlier on chatting to one of the colleagues on the opposite side of the aisle. I don't know what kind of private joke or sweet, you know, on the conversation, the private conversation that I had. If you've been paying attention, you would have realized that this exchange between the previous exchanges, rather, between Mark Golding and Fayval Wiiliams was going on for a minute, if you've been paying attention. But now, you pay attention now and you instruct the thing the right way. Or should I say, you referee the thing the right way.
The differential treatment between hourly paid workers and other employees of the international organization, the World Bank in this instance. Is that the norm?
World Bank in this instance. No, that's a good question. And this is why I think I'll label this video. What should I call it? Our bankers being tax exempt. Yes, that's what I'm going to put. Carry on. I'll something along that lines. I don't know. It just flashing in my head. I'll come to that.
In these arrangements with international bodies that have a presence here, specifically I'm asking in relation to the differential treatment between hourly paid workers and other staff. That's what I'm asking about. Thank you.
That's an interesting question.
Minister.
Okay, thank you, Madam
See
Speaker.
the way she laughed when she instruct her about minister, it's like she feels say, yeah, the minister got struggle to even answer that question, and my goodness, did she struggle. This was painful to watch, but hey, if we don't have no coffee or no tea or no cookies and chocolate and crackers, or no popcorn, let's go.
Madam Speaker, my understanding is that the employees of the bank are deemed to be self-employed for the purposes of administering the Income Tax Act and are required to file individual income tax forms. So that is the case. The law just clarifies because it was unclear as to how to proceed.
Yeah, but
so
that
Minister,
doesn't make any sense.
please.
If you're exempt from tax, but then you've switched over to self-employed, it doesn't mean you're exempt from tax. It just means that you're responsible for paying your own tax as a self-employed person. Whether as a sole trader or as a limited company or LLC or corporate or whatever. There's no tax exemption here. So yes, that question that Mark Golding asks are liquor physics, because what she just said is contradictory. But let we hear what she have to say. Let them carry on.
Move for conclusion and that the bill be read second time.
Madam Speaker, I move to conclude the debate on the bill and ask that it be read a second time.
Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it.
A bill entitled An Act to Amend the Bretton Woods Agreements Act to exempt locally recruited employees of the World Bank from the payment of income tax, read a second time.
This one stool thing, bro.
All right, committee stage. Are there any amendments? None. I put clause 1 and clause 2. Those in favor? Oh, sorry, my apologies.
I'm a little perplexed by the answer that was given by the minister. The Act says that no tax shall be levied on these persons' salary and emoluments. So they're exempt from tax. So the question is, why are more senior employees exempt, hourly paid workers or not? You said it has to do with something to do with filing a tax return? Just explain that for me, please. Because if they're exempt, I don't know, why they'd be filing unless they had other sources of income.
Exactly. True.
But the real question was, why would better paid employees not pay any tax?
Good
and
point.
the hourly paid workers would have to bear tax.
Mm-hmm.
That was the question.
Good question.
I wonder how we are going.
Madam Speaker, again,
Minister, you may sit.
Oh my God.
So housekeeping, you may sit in committee. It's usually less formal.
thank you.
So I chopped some of the videos there because, some of the long bits is
So
unnecessary.
the articles of agreement, Madam Speaker, with specific reference to Section 9 addresses...
Now, does this person sound like somebody who knows what they're talking about, understand what they're talking about, and is confident in what they're speaking about? I don't get that impression. This is where I say Fayval Wiiliams sounds like a robot that's reading a scripted stuff and is almost like she's clueless. This is crazy. This is embarrassing. If them keep her on as finance minister is because them desperate and them not have nobody else to replace her, which would speak to a larger problem if that's the case. Anyway, let's go.
Unit is from taxation, which precludes the bank from collecting taxes on behalf of TAG. This is similar to embassies, consulates, and other international organizations, and thus the bank does not have any obligation to collect and remit PAYE, ed tax contributions on behalf of its employees.
Yeah, but if that's the case, that's not tax exemption, which is exactly what I said earlier, and that's exactly what Mark Golding is actually sort of questioning you on, and you're still not answering the question. You still haven't, either you're deliberately, eluding the question, or you don't understand the question. It's one of the two, and in either case, it don't look good. I mean, the fact that someone is not responsible, your employers are not responsible for collecting tax on behalf of the taxman. Where in that is tax exemptions, which is what this bill is addressing. So, boy, make her continue. She dig a deep hole for herself. Carry on.
Again, to repeat, the employees of the bank are deemed to be self-employed for the purposes of administering the Income Tax Act and are required to file individual income tax returns.
So they're not exempt from tax. So they're not exempt from tax then. They just have
Madam Chairman, the wording of the provision before us says that no tax shall be levied on their salaries or emoluments paid by the bank.
Yeah,
that would exempt that from tax.
Exactly.
Not to say
and
that
I'll add to that, and that's irrespective of what, and that is irrespective of whether you're employed or self-employed. Okay, so that's a good point, Mark Golding. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. But the off mic thing, we did disagree with you. I did agree with Juliet Holness when she reprimanded you for that. But in this particular situation here, Mark Golding, that's a good question. Carry on.
Bank is precluded from having to withhold like a PAYE person. That's a different matter.
Yes, that's true.
If the intention is that they should file their own returns and are liable to tax on their salaries like all other Jamaicans, this is not achieving that.
Exactly.
This is doing the reverse. This is making their pay tax-free, which is apparently not the intention. I think we should suspend the debate on this and take advice. It's a serious matter.
Yeah, that's a good point. But again, long drawn out session. She's clueless. So there is Marlene Malahoo Forte leaning over to try and assist her, but she's looking to go see a consultant, tech people there, because she clueless as to how to rebut or respond to that question. Which is fair enough if she doesn't have all the information and all the facts. You go consult the technical people who are the ones, I am assuming, helping to draft up this bill. So she over there consults with them, and it's excruciatingly uncomfortable to watch this process. And this is embarrassing. This is what you call when you're unprepared. You understand me? Fayval Wiiliams at this point should have sat down with the technical advisors and consultants or whatever, and they should have. So now you see Marlene Malahoo Forte or Marlene Forte. See, now she's gone over. She have something to say to the Speaker of the House, because I don't know what they're saying, because obviously they're off mic and the mic is being muted. But it's clear that this at this stage is showing some type of discomfort. I don't know if this is regular procession in Parliament in Jamaica, but this don't look good. So I'm going to cut it, and now you see her jump into, maybe she look at that point where you see she turned around and she said something to Juliet Holness. That looks like she probably said, be patient, just give me a chance, no? Whatever. I don't know. But anyway, carry on. So she going over to Fayval now. More long uncomfortable consultation, because poor Fayval, she clueless, she out of her depth. While everybody is up on them phone and I tuggle them thumb and I do what else them have to do. But I get it, Parliament is never always, there's high and low points in Parliament, but for the most part it's boring. But this session here, so now them finish. So eventually now, she's coming over, so we say, yeah, she's ready for rally now. She get the answer them now. Yeah, man, so she's ready for Mark Golding now for answer them and clarify the bits where need clarification upon. Marlene Malahoo take her seat, or Marlene Forte take her seat. Fayval Wiiliams, wait, where's Shadow? Okay, she still a fluff about with her papers. She still, she lean over and I call Marlene. Come help. You still not understand. Can you help me, please? So Marlene lean over now and say, but we just go over it a while ago, man. But you still not understand it? Alright, let me organize it for you. My goodness. This is not my department, You're finance minister, This is for your section. This is for your ministry.
A few moments later.
Then call all our women. Call my press conference. Yes. Yes, we were.
Madam Speaker.
Members, we were on.
Oh my Lord.
Madam Speaker, just for further clarification, employees of the bank or workers of the bank would be exempt from taxation, and it would not only apply to executive directors, alternates, officials, or employees of the bank or citizens of Jamaica.
Really? So that means anybody who works for the bank in that regard exempt from paying tax? So it's not just the executives and the high brass, which is what we all suspect this bill is about, but the ordinary 9-to-5 worker them still have to pay tax. But then when Mark Golding questioned upon it, he said, oh no, that's not what it is. It's those people just have to be self-employed, but they still pay tax. No, after consulting the tech people, them have to come back and do a U-turn, flip-flopping, and say, what it is they'll be exempt from tax. But that sounds suspect. I don't think everybody that works for the bank in that respect in question is going to be exempt from tax. But let her continue and dig the hole.
But it is in recognition that if you are employed to the bank worldwide in one of these categories, that you are exempt from paying taxes, and that was not clear in our laws in Jamaica. So this amendment to this amendment today is to ensure that all employees, including Jamaican nationals, are on the same level playing field with others who are employed to the bank in other countries.
So you're trying to bring something that is in line with other international players, and that's the excuse for making bankers exempt from tax? That's your excuse? Oh, I see. My goodness. So you hear that teachers, nurses, doctors, firemen, yeah, now you've heard it out of the Minister of Finance's mouth.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Minister.
I do believe, I think I understand it.
What?
Minister, this
you
is...
see that? Them a pass a bill and them not even the speaker understand it. I do think, you either you understand it or you don't understand it. If you say you think, you pass a bill where you don't understand, the financial, the finance minister, Fayval Wiiliams, not understand clearly and out of her depth, and Marlene Malahoo Forte or whatever tried their best to bail out Fayval Wiiliams along with the tech team, but at the end of the day, they didn't do much of a good job either. And the final explanation given is still confusing. And if it's, I mean, I understand what they're saying personally, but that's not a fair taxation system. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. You understand me? To me, this just equates to bankers being exempt from paying taxes while everybody else have to pay a tax. And the excuse them give is, well, other world, people around the world internationally who work in similar banking sector, whatever, World Bank, etc. They don't pay no taxes. They're exempt. So we need to do the same thing for our bankers too. No, brother, that's not fair. And that's what I'm saying. No, you understand how, you see how even when them not understand the rules, them will still pass it because we know the relationship between bankers and politics. Come on.
The original bill, I still think we can take a look just for edification. Principal Act.
You see her expression?
Minister,
yes,
would you
see that?
I do believe, I think I understand it. Minister, this is the original bill. I still think we can take a look just for edification. Principal Act.
And look how the original bill is in strings, not even properly binded. It's not even properly bounded in like with a cover. 2025, this is Jamaican government. This is the bill she have in her hand. You see the strings that holding up the bill? It's tied together with strings, and I'm thinking maybe it's a draft bill, but she said that's the existing bill. What they're doing now is making amendments to the bill for clarification purposes, unless I misunderstand what is going on here. Boy, may I tell you.
This is the original bill. I still think we
okay, so she did confirm and I said that's the original bill.
Take a look just for edification. Minister, would you like to conclude? Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs would like to...
Madam Speaker, just for further information.
Because they realize that was a kangaroo situation that does take place in a parliament. Boy, if this not make headline news in Jamaica, I don't know what will.
So, would you like to conclude? Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs would like to...
Madam Speaker, just for further information.
Yeah, come
so
on.
the act that you pull up, which is the one being amended, the Bretton Woods Agreement Act.
So
it is the act which...
Act, yeah. Now you're going to have Marlene Forte is going to attempt to bail out Fayval Wiiliams after that poor performance in explanation and clarification. Boy, I mean, I understand. Anyway, carry on, Marlene. We see what you have to say. Come with it.
Provides for Jamaica's relationship with the bank. And Section 5 in particular sets out the immunities and privileges of the bank in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And the appropriate provision which deals with the immunities and privileges, such as income tax and exemption. So the amendment is really just a provision which deals with the immunities and privileges, such as income tax and exemption. So the amendment is really...
So you see it? I was right. Basically, you know, una give the banker them a tax break. And una exempt them from tax. Not even if you say them pay reduced tax, you know. Exempt from tax means you pay zero tax.
I wonder how we are going. Something all right? Something all right, yeah?
Brother, me speechless. Really? Bankers who are already rich and I make a whole heap of money, and you're going to exempt them from paying into the public purse that will help the country? Man, Jamaica, I said this before, we don't deserve the government we want to get. Because when the two mix up in our politics and I support politicians and I support political parties, rather than support your country, more people need to start watch these type of parliamentary proceedings. I know how many of them boring and a lot of the stuff go over on the head, but this is where decisions are being made. This is where bills and laws are being passed that affect your everyday life. So if you're ball about the price of milk and the price of bread and unemployment, and you're ball about taxation and liquor left, right, and center, and your electric bill, you need to come take your ass here and watch and listen so you can understand what's going on, and then go back, go question the MP and say, yo, someone watch, you know, you in a parliament and you said this and you said that. What you mean? And bring them to task and pressure them for your respective constituencies. But they don't know how to do that. Or not make them telling you ask they don't cow fat and bribe you with money and box lunch and fertilizer and cement and feed and couple cow and goat and nonsense. That's how them view you. Like trinkets. Man, anyway, continue.
Just to bring the immunities and the exemption to persons employed to the bank in Jamaica, as the minister said. Yes, for Jamaican citizens.
I don't agree with that. That's not good. Meanwhile,
no.
Nurses have to pay for them tax though. Policemen have to pay for them tax though. Firemen have to pay for them tax though. You understand? And all the other sort of, departments that Jamaica rely on to function, they have to pay their taxes. But the bankers are going to be exempt from taxes in Jamaica? You stressing that we're talking about in Jamaica doesn't make it any more right. Marlene Malahoo Forte. Do you know what I mean? But the next election come up. Anyway, make her finish off. I'm done.
It's a recognition of the immunities and privileges that are accorded.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Members, I put clause 1.
Yo, me have to stop it right there, so. That just goes to show you that,
You may now conclude.
I jump back. That just goes to show you that we're living in a country where, Jamaicans, I don't know what to say. I'm really speechless that these people sat up with a clear face in Parliament and passed this bill, and they used their powers of majority and passed the bill where it is clear that a lot of people, even on the same, within the JLP party, including the finance minister, is not very much clear on what this is. But with further clarification from Marlene Malahoo Forte clarified it in less than a minute. What took the entire this video for Fayval Wiiliams to clarify. Maybe Marlene Malahoo should be the finance minister. She seemed to be able to articulate this situation and herself much better than Fayval. All Fayval Wiiliams do is grumble. Now, having said all of that, I give kudos to Marlene Malahoo Forte for, articulating the matter very clearly and very succinctly. That's good. But that doesn't mean it's a good bill. You guys passed it because you got majority in the House. So I still think it's wrong to give bankers tax exemptions while everybody else in Jamaica have to pay a tax. That's not fair. And Mark Golding was right to pressure them. So this is why normally I don't do this reaction to parliamentary proceedings, because it's boring for the most part. But my goodness, this parliament thing, so this was one for the books. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I'm out.